Oh my god. All right.
You legitimately sounded like the opener of SpongeBob there.
I did.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Who lives
in a
pineapple under the sea?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's what I was hearing when you said the energy stuff.
You guys didn't know this, but I actually did the Foley work for. I guess that's not Foley work.
That's
I
not
did
Foley
the
work.
actual singing for that intro song.
Wow.
If
Yeah.
you think about it,
That came out when you were like
voice
7.
acting
That's
is
impressive.
Foley work.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
true. Just like how video games are art. Hey everybody, welcome back to the forecast.
You're just gonna cut right in after that comment.
Right after that.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome back to the forecast, a bi-weekly podcast about everything games, film, and news. I'm Aaron Juno.
I'm Alex McCausland.
Oh, there's no Ben. I'm Caleb Juno.
I'm Chad McCausland. I'm thrown.
And there's no Frank either. I'm Jake Fetterkyle.
Oh man, no
Whoa.
Frank. Ooh, crazy.
What a twist.
On today's episode number 223, Windows 10 officially dies, which begs the question, what is supporting the back end of Windows 11? Plus, Battlefield 6 returns to the basics, and Megabonk lands the GOTY title early. Plus, Marvel Rivals is still not a gooner game. When I'm keeping this in here every
my
week
gosh.
from now until forever.
It's terrible.
Christ.
October is still chugging along for GOTY, and Ben, even though he's not here, is playing the unannounced sequel still, Elden Thring, which we are all excited to finally hear a review of. We'll get there at some point. I'm so excited.
Honestly, I just can't wait till Elden Fling.
Elden Fling, the fourth?
Yeah.
I saw
Don't
a
talk
post
about it
on
early, dude.
Twitter the other day from I guess she was like a cosplayer or something, and I get the new skin for Psylocke is just a sports bra and a thong. So like, she's like, man, my job's easy.
Not a gooner game, dude. Not a gooner
Not a
game.
good game. Now, mind you, she had like sports bike attire, like
Right,
a
right,
pink
right.
like jacket and
Yeah,
pink sweatpants, but it was a sports bra and a thong. That was basically it.
yeah. If you'd like to know more about what we do, you can follow us on our social channels. You can check out our website at WeTheRising.com. We have a ton of original content for you to browse through, including our Pathfinder 2e campaign, Crown and Conquest, which we will, I don't know, eventually get back to. I'm so excited.
Someday.
Pumped. Ready. Someday. Additionally, everything we talk about is in our cast notes, which is pushed out to whatever podcasting app you are using.
The new Housemarque game is called Saros.
Saros.
Saros. Something like that.
I was hoping like Shenmue or KCD2 would be on the most overrated list also.
Wouldn't that be
funny.
so funny?
All right, let's jump into some news-related things. First and foremost, Apple Vision Pro is getting a refresh. I don't know why. Why is this happening, Alex?
Yeah, I specifically put it on our notes here because I think it's really a weird move. Kind of seems like that's a failed product, but the one thing that I could see saving the product for Apple is them figuring out how to make it cheaper and more like consumer friendly.
Wait, you don't want to buy a $3,000 headset?
Coward.
It's just super weird. So they're refreshing it. They kind of announced it out of nowhere. Didn't really do like their usual like fancy keynote, like talking about all the cool features or whatever. It's just got like the new chip in it. It's got the M5 and it's got a new strap with a part that goes over the top of your head because the one they did on the original just went around the back of your head, which is obviously terrible. We've done VR for a while. We know this. And it's still $3,500.
Oh.
It's so weird.
I mean,
And this is after everybody talking about like like who's gonna buy it in the first place if you're not one of the first adopters that bought the first one.
Yeah.
Apple does infamously sell a stand for their Mac Pro computer that costs $1,000. So,
Excuse me?
Yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
stand,
Off Amazon.
the computer, $1,000.
What?
Sorry, $995.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're rounding. See, you're making it sound ridiculous.
You're right.
Such a strange move from them. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Do you think it really matters? I mean, they're a $1 trillion company, right? At this point.
I mean, does it matter? No.
Yeah,
Why
but
would
it's
they
like
Of course not.
it's like
Yeah,
a
that's the real
blemish on
question.
their record though, is the weird part that they're like still sticking with it and like not doing anything to make changes to like try to get it wider adoption or anything. Because they really pride themselves on being like, look at like we have the consumers in the palm of our hand. Anybody will buy anything we make if they're an Apple fan, except for this one product category now.
Sorry, I was slightly off. They are a $3.67 trillion company, so I think making
sheesh.
Apple Vision Pro refresh probably doesn't really matter for their bottom line, I would guess. And I feel like they've had to have had some other blemishes throughout their product history. There's not everything they make is like they've touched, gold hands.
Like, not since Steve Jobs came back to the company, pretty much. They've been the golden child for a long time. Maybe you can say like Bendgate back in iPhone, what was it, like 5 or something?
Yeah.
6.
Bendgate.
Good old Bendgate.
Have you seen the bend tests on the new iPhone Air? Because I feel like they had such an issue with Bendgate back in the day. They engineered the crap out of this thing because you can literally try to fold that thing in half as hard as you can. It doesn't budge.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Freaking awesome. Not that I'm getting one. I think it's probably the worst of the new generation.
It is the lowest tier, right?
No,
Like
it's the middle tier.
Oh, it's the mid tier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's more expensive than the base iPhone, but less expensive than the Pro.
Is it that much thinner?
It's a lot thinner, yeah.
Hmm.
They basically, there's like a camera bump at the top still, and they managed to shove all of the electronics that run the phone in the bump, and then the rest of the phone is the battery.
That crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, that really bugs me actually because I freaking hate the camera bump. That's like my
Oh, yeah.
my least favorite feature on any phone. I'm like, shove the whole thing so that I want the front and back of my phone to be flat.
Make the whole thing thicker, and it'll be
I don't
more
care
appealing.
if it's thicker.
Yeah.
That's fine. Put more battery in it, honestly. I don't care.
Sure.
I just
Sure.
hate setting my phone down and the whole thing's like slightly tilted down and to the right if I don't have a case on it.
Yeah.
So I just never set my phone down.
You know what? Good
Problem
point.
solved.
That's a good
There
point.
you go.
I should start doing that.
I have a MagSafe stand on my desk. It always sits on that, so.
That is helpful. Interesting. All right, so a
Right here, actually.
$3,500 Apple Vision Pro. All right. Well, Alex, looking forward to the review after you pick it up.
No.
No?
Mhm.
No, sir.
No, he's already ordered one.
Oh yeah. That's
I
what
would
figured.
love to know somebody that had one so I could see what it's like once, but
see what it even does. Can you not test them out at a store?
maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we have one. We have stores here.
Yeah,
If you can do it at
You
a
have
store,
stores?
we do. It's crazy.
Amazingly.
I know. In the Midwest, you would expect no stores at all.
Yeah.
but there are stores here. It's crazy. All right, on the opposite end of the hardware and software spectrum, Windows officially Windows 10 getting its end of life, which again, I don't know how Windows 11 is going to function at this point if Windows 10 is deprecated permanently, because I feel like Windows 11 just runs on top of Windows 10, but I could be wrong. Maybe things have updated to the point where that's not the case, but I still will right-click on a file and click the button that says more options.
More
because,
options.
you know.
Yeah.
So what's happening here, Alex? Are they upgrading 11 until it's actually like it's its own standalone thing, or
11 is its own stand. I mean, the operating systems are not separate anymore. It's just incremental patches. But if you didn't upgrade to the new UI that runs on top of the old UI, you're no longer going to get security patches, which is like really bad, actually. If you're connected to the internet.
Think about the amount of secured devices that are probably running Windows 10 at this point. I would assume there's still a substantial amount that have not upgraded to Windows 11.
Yeah, so part of this article I'm referencing for this says the September 2025 Steam hardware survey says that 32.18% of their users are still on Windows 10.
Mhm.
So nearly a third of Steam gamers are still running Windows 10.
And they're about
wow.
to not get security updates. When does end of life happen, actually? Do they have a date?
It was the 14th.
It was the 14th. It's done.
Yeah.
So when
It's
the next
done.
security update comes out, they're just SOL?
I think there is a distinction between end of life and end of service. I think end of life is just they don't sell it or produce it anymore. End of service is when they stop actually updating it at all for any reason. I don't know if it's both for this one.
Whatever this one is the one where you're not getting security updates anymore.
Wow. Okay.
I do think there is like a provision in place where like corporations can pay some absurd number of dollars to get support still.
Yeah.
Wow. Of course. Right.
But for end users, normal people, you're done.
You know, this Windows 10 is only 10 years old. 2015.
It seems like they support most of their operating systems for about 10 years, right? Most versions.
That seems about right.
I think that's their general life cycle.
How long has 11 been out? It feels like a lot.
It's
a long time.
21. Late
Is that it?
21. Yeah, 4
Man,
years.
I feel like I've been on 11 for 8 years. Apparently only around 49% of Windows users are running 11. Like some people are still on 7.
Man.
7 was a good one.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some crazies out there running XP somewhere.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's roll it back. 95.
It's just interesting. This one's more interesting, I think, because it's not trivial to upgrade if your computer is mad at you about it.
Feel-
Like Caitlin, for
Mhm.
instance, has been trying to upgrade to 11, knowing that Windows 10 was going away, and still can't get her computer to take the update.
It's
So
wild.
at some point, she'll have to like wipe her drive, I think, and install it fresh or something.
Oof. Oof. Hate to see it.
As soon as a 0 day, like a bad 0 day comes out, that can affect Windows 10 stuff. It's over, man.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
You know how many IP addresses hit my server like every minute trying to do stuff? It's a lot.
Oh, me.
Yeah. Give me a number. Put a number on it.
I don't know. It's a lot.
37.
It's just weird.
Every
It's
day.
weird seeing a lot of, like, I only give my server stuff to people that are in the United States, and there's a lot of Chinese and Russian people trying to get stuff from me.
Hmm.
It's weird.
That's just me. My bad.
That's you.
Gosh. Windows 10. All right. Let's jump ship a little bit to hardware. Talk a little bit about AMD. I don't even know how to promo this, Alex. You tell me.
So, do you know who Mark Cerny is?
Nope. Should I?
He is the lead system architect at Sony. He does talks sometimes, which are really cool because you don't usually get insight into console hardware design except for when he feels like he just wants to go talk to like the regular gamer for some reason, and then starts talking about like really advanced hardware design stuff that nobody's gonna know what he's talking about, and he just assumes people like understand him. He's a cool dude. But he sat down with like one of the higher ups at AMD, and they were talking about, you know, future technology to come to a potential console in the next few years, quote unquote. But there's some interesting stuff in there. There's like 3 core new technologies that they talked about. First up is neural arrays, which is basically a lot of this stuff is like AMD catching up with NVIDIA, kind of. FSR kind of caught up with DLSS finally this past year, with FSR 4 like finally being up to par in quality to like match DLSS 3 basically. And now we got neural arrays, which are basically going to be an answer for tensor cores. He basically described them as a way for compute units to tackle large parts of the screen all at once, which is kind of what tensor cores are used for, and this stuff's going to be used in their upscaling technology in the future. Then he talked about radiance cores, which are basically RT cores, from what I could tell.
Okay.
I guess AMD right now steals compute units and uses them for ray tracing, and that's how they do ray tracing, and that's the reason why NVIDIA has been traditionally way more efficient at running ray trace stuff. So they'll have their own version of RT cores in the next architecture, potentially. And then there's something new, which I don't think NVIDIA has done, but they're calling it universal compression, which is like instead of just textures, literally all data that is sent to the GPU memory is going to be processed and compressed, which they say is like going to dramatically increase memory bandwidth efficiency, and potentially lead to like a lot of progress in memory bandwidth speed, and like frame rates, higher frame rates will be possible.
Dang. AMD seeing into the transparent world.
Yeah, I just thought that stuff was interesting. And then also they talked about FSR a bunch, and Mark Cerny in passing mentioned PSSR, which is their own proprietary upscaling technology. So I wonder, with how they're talking about it, if they're just going to straight up use FSR in the next PlayStation instead of their own thing. Which will be interesting, because then PSSR is like this weird one-off technology that's only in the PS5 Pro. Could be cool, though.
It's kind of weird that they committed to that when they made the PS5 Pro, sorry. That they didn't pick up some technology that already existed that was functional, but maybe it's just purely because of architecture.
Yeah. I wonder because of the way the timing was, like FSR 4 wasn't out. I wonder if they just thought FSR 3 was too bad.
Yeah.
And so they made their own thing.
Also, here's a question. Why is it that NVIDIA has just been so far ahead on all of these points? You talked about AMD catching up finally on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, how is it that they are so far, like, they're just so advanced?
Different players.
I really don't know. I could guess that they just had a guess about the way the market would go ahead of everybody else, and invested a lot in that research and development before anybody else did, and just got so far ahead that nobody could catch up for a long time. I think that's probably it, because like when they announced the 2000 series and talked about real-time ray tracing on the card, everybody was like really taken off guard. Like that came out of nowhere. So they just like guessed, I think, and got really lucky and became a $4 trillion company.
Man, imagine going from like pulling a graphics card out of your oven and showing it to people to being the most profitable company on the world. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Wild.
Yeah, wild.
Why do you have a graphics card in his oven?
He was like
during
announcing
COVID,
it,
right?
He was cooking it.
Yeah.
It was what they had cooking.
Yeah, it was like we're
Is
also
that
cooking
actually
something else.
That's
I think
the
that
thing.
was like the joke. Yeah.
Here's what's cooking. Here, what's in
fair,
the oven? What's cooking?
It is funny.
Yeah.
It was during COVID, so he wasn't on a stage. He was doing the presentation from home, and he like pulled out the big card, because they'd already announced like the 3080, I think, and then like the 3090 was in the oven or something like that.
I just imagine he has to have a conversation with like whoever he's living with. Like, listen, guys, please do not cook anything today. Like, do not touch the fucking oven.
This is $1,000 card.
Yes.
Please don't turn on the
If you
oven.
cook lunch, you are going to doom us all.
I think Nvidia's stock at that time was worth approximately, it looks like, somewhere in the neighborhood of like $10 a share. Today it's worth $181 a share. So yeah, their gambles paid off.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Nuts. Meanwhile, AMD was gambling on their CPU infrastructure, and turns out they're like, Intel's like, oh no, what do we do now?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
So they're good on that side. It just wasn't as beneficial as the entire tech industry getting way into AI and stuff like that.
Yeah, just compute units out the
Are people
wazoo.
into AI right now?
I've
First I've
heard
heard
of
of
this.
this. Yeah.
And crypto
Yeah.
farming.
Man, I listened to a really interesting podcast the other day where they were talking about
Was it the Horizon?
Yeah, it was the Horizon.
Can't
A
possibly
bunch of
be right.
nerds talking about games. They were talking about the sort of AI boom and the bubble. And a lot of it was about how there's been this analysis out of a couple of like think tank universities like Harvard, where they're showing like the actual return on investment for people who invest in AI is abysmal. You don't really get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Like it especially at an enterprise level, like sure, you know, you and I using AI. We go to ChatGPT, we go to Copilot or something, and we get a prompt and we do our work slightly faster. That's not really, from a cost perspective, cost benefit analysis to a company, not really beneficial. But on an enterprise level, it's so astronomically expensive to use this or invest in it that the return on investment is just not there. You're not getting such an enhanced amount of productivity that it's worth how much you're spending with, insert whoever is working on the AI system the infrastructure you're working on. It's wild.
I think I'm going to be very curious / nervous to see what happens when that bubble inevitably bursts.
Right, because Go ahead.
No, I mean, just what you said, right? That everyone is putting money in this, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're making a lot of money off this? Well, no. It's actually, we now need to hire people to double check what the AI does because the stuff it spits out is wrong half the time. But
Yeah, that, and you got a lot of people investing not only just in stocks, but also the amount of data centers that have been built in the United States, in China over the past 2-3 years because of the boom. It's using a lot of energy. It's using a lot of manpower to build these facilities. And to what end? If you ask Sam Altman, it's like, well, he wants to be, in charge of the Universal Paperclip Company.
Probably shouldn't ask him anything.
Yeah, you don't think so? He's going to start
crazy.
talking about how we need to farm Mars for, heavy metals so that we can build out more stuff for more power to be able to compute more. Guy's crazy. Anyway, I just thought it was really interesting about the AI bubble and how kind of things are just, there's no real return on investment yet from what we've seen. People compared it to the .com era of, businesses just popping up everywhere, people investing, and then all of a sudden just collapse.
Big thing I've been seeing with Sora 2 coming up is people afraid that they're going to get framed for murder and stuff like that because you can just basically make a video super hyper realistic. And it's well, that's not necessarily how evidence is used in the court of law, but
Correct.
There's got to be metadata on that. Then there's got to be a witness. The witness has to sign an affidavit. It's all sorts of stuff that has to go into it that can't just be here's Chad killing somebody.
It's a Minority Report situation.
I will say, because of how social media is, it could just ruin somebody's life. Period. Because people just look at it, see it, not even confirm what's happening, and it just be oh my god, that person's a murderer. It's well, no, it's AI, but
yeah.
Something I've seen more and more of is people calling for some sort of law or regulation that requires watermarking of AI generated content.
I would like
and
that.
Man,
it's what I hear that, and what I immediately think is that it would condition everybody to think AI stuff is going to have a watermark. So then as soon as somebody does something illegal and makes an AI video that doesn't have a watermark, it's going to be way more believable, I think, because it's AI stuff is watermarked, obviously, so this must be true.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it would go, but that's where my mind goes immediately. It's does that make misinformation way easier to spread because
probably
we have a law that says, oh, this has to be watermarked and this one isn't?
I think the problem is the statement, make misinformation easier to spread. It already spreads instantly.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, yeah.
I've seen people share a video that is watermarked, generated with AI as, look at this thing that just happened.
Yep.
And people have to be hey, there's literally a watermark on there that says it's made by AI. And he's yeah, okay, but the fact that I thought it was real really says a lot, huh? It's just what are you? It
says you're dumb. Yeah,
what's happening?
Also, to that point, watermarking something can only get you so far. I mean, the technology is progressing at such a pace that you could be all right, all AI generated content needs to be watermarked. Well, then I'm just going to feed it over into a different system and be hey, remove this watermark for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we don't even fully comprehend the capabilities of some of that. Right.
Have a watermark. You'd be committing a crime at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But people will commit crimes. People commit crimes.
Wait. No, they can't. It's illegal. They can't. They can't commit them.
And that was my problem with it. It's well, the people that want to misuse it will just break the law, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I feel aren't going to know to be able to do that, and that'll prevent a lot of that. Maybe not.
I don't know. People are dumb, dude.
It might
Yeah.
still be better to have something like that in place.
I think we
I think
had
it
it.
probably would.
I think we had an opportunity to curb this, to curtail this, future where there's just almost no difference between real information and disinformation that's being spread everywhere. But we kind of missed the boat because I think a lot of people with a lot of money thought this is a really great opportunity for me to invest and make money. And so therefore, from a legislation standpoint, people just didn't put any boundaries, any guardrails in place to prevent companies from doing whatever they wanted. And now here we are. I mean, ChatGPT came out, 2020? It's been 5 years. And now everybody and their mom's like, ooh, AI investment, gotta do it. Oh, problematic across the board. A good, for instance, Dayseeker recently posted a note because Spotify has been talking about crackdowns on AI generated music.
Yes, please.
And there is new band called Bleeding something. I don't remember. Oh, Bleeding Verse. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They have surpassed multiple bands that are in their genre in terms of daily listens. Completely AI, and it's taken 2 months. And they are now they have more monthly listeners than Dayseeker does, which is insane. It's insane.
Do you remember when I sent you that band?
Yes, and you were
'Cause
I kept getting sent this on TikTok.
I literally, wow, yeah. I was on Spotify. Like the way I listen to Spotify is either new releases, Discover Weekly, or just like I pop a radio on. Like I like a song, so that I just like click on that song, hit the radio for it. And that song, like a song came up from Bleeding Verse, and I was listening to it, and I was like, this is decent, but like something's off about this. And I started like looking into for some reason just went into the Spotify like biographies and stuff like that from this band, and they actually just straight up say that they're an AI band. They are like, the lyrics are generated by a person, like they like write it, like create the poems or whatever you want to call them, and then they feed the poems into an AI generator, and then it pumps out the music. So it's like half AI, half real person. But I like sent this to Aaron. I was like, I thought something was off about this. And I'm cooked. Like, if this is because it sounds like the music I listen to. So it's like, but I think Caitlin actually described it perfectly because I showed it to her. I think it's too perfect. Like the voice and the music and stuff, like everything's too perfect. There's no like cracks or anything in the voice when he's going for like the high notes or like when the screaming's happening. Like it's just too pristine. Like this, it's too clear. So I think that's what I kind of heard that was off about it.
Wild to me, man. And I feel like it's only a matter of time until that what you're hearing that really differentiates it between the real thing is no longer there.
I actually watched a TikTok earlier today of a guy who is a music artist, and he actually showed the process of creating a song like that. And I think it's like Love Like War or something. It's like the major lyric in the Bleeding Verse song. And he typed in like a one sentence thing about how it's a post-hardcore song with like groovy, verses with the lyrics Love Like War. And then it took all of 15 seconds to create the song, and it pumped it out, and it sounded pretty good. And then he said the issue that he's seeing in the TikToks and stuff like that is there are people that are like, oh my gosh, this is AI. I couldn't tell. And then there's other people who are like, oh, this is AI. I don't care. I'm still going to listen to it because it's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're cooked. It's fine.
Cooked, dude. Cooked.
Yeah, man.
It's fine.
Meanwhile, I specifically, I don't think I've ever really blocked anything on Spotify or like clicked the button of like, I don't like this or what. But I specifically went into Bleeding Verse and like I completely said, don't show this to me again at all. Like, don't show this at all anywhere. So I can't see them anymore.
Yeah. Wild. It's wild that it's infecting so many things too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when this all first started, it was just text. It's just a language model. I'm just talking to it. It's responding with prompts, things that help me out, benefit me. Now it's freaking everything, dude. Videos, tutorials, music.
I freaking love ChatGPT for like, I'll ask it like what it thinks my workout regimen should be. Like, if I'm at an average, pacing for like a beginner runner, like stuff like that. Like I get a lot of information. I go back it from like actual documents and stuff like that. But like it's like broken down. Like okay, Monday you're doing your leg day. Tuesday this is what you should do for running. Wednesday you already have that worked out. Thursday you should do this for because at first I was just like all right 5K every day, but then I'm like all right no I need to condition myself, but I don't really know where to start. And I looked up some YouTube videos. They told me like so I kind of used the YouTube videos and the information I'm getting from other runners basically saying like you should walk for a certain amount of time and then run for a certain amount of time, fed that into ChatGPT, and it just bang, like I have week by week what I should be doing, how it changes week to week. Like it's really cool. It's cool stuff. But
yep,
then you start having music getting developed or like video and it's like
yeah, too much.
Then we're gonna have animes being developed by AI, and that's when it really cooked.
We already have too much content generation anyway. We don't need AI doing it all. So.
God, there's so
Right.
much content generation.
There was
It's
a lot of
ridiculous.
speculation that Sekiro anime was mostly AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they denied it, but the studio, their previous efforts have been heavily AI driven.
Yeah.
So people were like, "Oh, this is obviously an AI one," because it kind of looks suspicious.
great.
I'll say, yeah. So they've denied it, but I think
Do people like
we'll
the anime?
see. It's not out. They
Yeah,
showed a
it's
trailer,
not
out.
and people said this looks like maybe it's AI, and the studio has used AI in the past. So people were like, "Oh, it's just AI garbage." The studio has said it's not. We'll see, I guess.
This is what I found on YouTube. Dude is mouth agape. He says this looks insane.
Wow. Let's change gears here real quick and talk about Battlefield 6. DICE's return to form, if you will.
I won't.
Yeah. Alex, they're seeing the biggest launch ever in the series history. This is the biggest launch for Battlefield.
Ever? Yeah, it's the biggest Battlefield launch.
Can you tell me anything about like day one, concurrent players? Are
It's
you
pretty
reading
big.
something? Are you watching a video right now?
My God, it's pretty
Nah,
big.
They sold over 7 million copies in the first 3 days. So that's pretty big. It's EA's biggest launch ever in general.
Wow.
Unseating Apex
Wait,
Legends.
Bigger than like Madden.
Yeah, looks like it.
I'm actually pretty surprised.
This is,
I mean-
this is at least from Steam numbers. So I guess could be like consoles, different
Consoles.
situation, but
Could be.
we don't really have
Yeah.
numbers for that. But
Yeah,
like
sure.
Apex Legends was their biggest concurrent before this, that was like 624,000. We got just under 750,000 peak concurrent on Battlefield 6. Interestingly enough, Battlefield 2042 peak concurrent player count was 107,000.
Wow.
Holy crap! Can we talk
Game
about
was trash? Why wasn't that on the list?
Can we talk about how Call of Duty usually had the bigger numbers, but I think Call of Duty's own like peak is 500,000, somewhere around there, and Battlefield's is 747,000. Kind of snotty.
It's pretty crazy.
Battlefield's never been the more popular one.
No.
Like
Mhm.
I always use the comparison of like if you look at League and Dota, like Dota is the Battlefield of the MOBA space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like you have it's more complexity. It's not something that you can just jump in and like run and gun. While Call of Duty is like the arcade shooter, and like Legends is like still complex, but it was like more arcadey than Dota. So yeah, Battlefield's always been the more complex, not really popular. But man, COD's not in a good place, and this came out, and this is a perfect time for it, especially with the old age. Well, I guess return to form is what we just called it.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Another cool number I saw was 56.7% of all of their sales were on Steam.
That's freaking awesome.
23.7 is on PlayStation, 19.6 on Xbox.
Man, the fact that people still own Xboxes baffles me.
I mean, maybe they bought it back when Xbox was still pretending to be in the game. You know?
Yeah, true. That would make it a Xbox One Xbox X.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
I always get the models wrong, but I think I'm close. Hey, Alex, this actually brings up a good point with Battlefield. I think it's time for a little WHYBPL, and I think we just go right into talking about Battlefield because we're already talking about it. But because we mentioned Return to Form, I wanted to bring this up because I think maybe this is part of the hype. Maybe this is part of why they have the peak players that they had. Is that everything I feel like they did with this game is in an attempt to correct everything they did poorly in the last one they made.
Didn't they do everything poorly in the last one they made?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Aaron tried to get a refund. I've never seen him try to get a refund for a game.
7 times I tried to get a refund, and every
Wow.
time they said no. You played
Rude.
more than 2 hours, sir.
Yeah, I tried that with what is it, Lords of the Fallen or whatever. Anyways, we can keep talking about Battlefield.
I just wanted to say I think there's always this question of like how long do people end up spending in a game like this, because it's kind of the same repeat thing over and over, and it's not like Battlefield is very different. I like the way Chad put it. It's the Dota of this genre, this first person shooter feel, except that it's more complex in a lot of ways. I like that part of it. In fact, I feel like for me, I really don't like Call of Duty. That style of game just is not for me anymore. I used to love it, sure, but I love the complexity of the way the maps work in Battlefield. But I feel like all of that was taken away in 2042, and they've fixed a lot of, or recovered a lot from where they were then, and made some adjustments that I think the players are really happy with, and I think that's why they're where they're at in terms of peak player.
I don't feel like I played much 2040, but I think they kind of try to Call of Duty-ize it way too much. Like they tried to kind of, because they're in competition with Call of Duty, they tried to like bend that way. I just think it was not that's not their strong suit. Their strong suit is the big battles, their vehicles, the chaos.
The other issue with 2042 though was they tried to expand from like the 64 players to 128 and made those absolutely enormous maps with nothing on them, and you could just spend like 5-10 minutes walking across the map to literally get anywhere if there were no vehicle spawns. That's a problem. And I think, I mean, sure, would it be nice to have more players in a Battlefield game? I guess if it was bigger, but it just feels like it's at the right spot at 64 people. 32v32, a whole bunch of spots on the map. It feels like there's enough chaos, but it's not so much that there's just a bunch of empty space in between. I feel like no matter where I'm at on those maps, something's going on, but it's not so busy, so chaotic that I spawn and instantly die. It's like right in the middle ground, and I love that.
I saw something on it the other day. I think there's something called in-world voice chat, and it sticks only to the squad that you're on. And if you're close to each other, you can hear proximity chat. And then when you start getting further away, it turns on the radio.
Heck yeah.
That sounds so cool.
That's fun.
If only all of these other VoIP services weren't available with people doing voice chat on that. That would be great. That would be great.
I've heard exactly one person voice chat in Battlefield 6 so far.
I think we need to switch over to this. It's strictly it's just you're in a 4-person squad or whatever,
4-person
right?
squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's the only 4 of you that will be chatting. So if you're hopping on with like 4 of us, we could just be like, all right, let's use the in-world chat. Let's check it out.
Certainly would do that. Would do that.
Yeah,
I've just never
cool.
heard anybody. I'm like Alex. I don't think I've ever heard anybody in game, in chat, in voice chat.
You know where voice chat died in games? Xbox Live parties.
Live party chat.
Yeah, dude.
Once those got introduced, it was crickets in every single game you went into. It used to be, you heard the rap in the background, the babies crying, people freaking calling everybody the N-word, but nope, Xbox Live parties. Didn't hear none of that anymore.
Moms yelling at their children to get off the Xbox.
Yeah. You could shout Xbox off, shut off their Xbox.
Did some good, did some bad, I guess. Anyway, I really like this game. I want to play some more of it. I think my only complaint... Go ahead, Alex.
I was going to say, I think they're trying to capitalize. They know they got momentum. They already announced they have a new map coming at the end of October, and then another new one coming at the end of November. That's pretty quick.
They do have a BR coming, correct?
There is a BR. They've not said too much about it. The one thing that they did detail is that the circle is going to be instant death.
That's a choice.
That's a lot,
right? That's weird,
That's a
right?
choice.
Now, what does that
Does
mean?
anyone
Is it like? Do you think
What
that's
was the
going to be
question?
like you go out into the circle and then dead, or do you think that you
Yeah.
can stay out in the circle for like 2 seconds? You'd step your toe back in, like it's just going to touch you and you're fried. That seems nuts.
I mean, they said instant death, but I don't. It could be like slightly more relaxed. But I think that what they're trying to do is make it so there's no like gas
Out of bounds
at
playing.
all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You play Fortnite, and that's like a whole strategy. You just keep finding meds, and you just stay out of the circle until like the last zone, and then you walk in and you win.
Hate it.
Right.
Hate it.
Now PUBG, on the other hand, I don't think you can stay out in the circle because you're dying, and it's like it moves so fast. Like, why would you want to do that? Call of Duty, I feel like you can stim up.
You can, but you can't be out
Yeah.
there forever. You only
Right.
have
And there's gas masks in that game too.
So
let you
many
stay
resources.
there.
Yeah, the gas masks are the issue because you keep finding them, you keep buying them, stimming up. Yeah, you can gas game in Call of Duty for sure. But that's where I think Battlefield, if it's like 5 to 10 seconds that you could be out there, I don't think that's bad. Because I mean, what if you get into a situation where like there's a wall beside you, you can't like, there's nowhere to go this way. You have to go out in the gas and then get around the building or
Yeah.
something. Like you just die. It's over. That seems bad.
Maybe.
That seems bad design.
Yeah, I
Or
don't know.
bad tactics. Shouldn't have been in that room when the
Oh,
circle
there
started
it is.
closing.
Bad tactics. Can't camp
Mad
the
'cause
room until
bad.
the circle gets to you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a smart play for them to do BRs? ABR in Battlefield? Personally, I hate it.
I don't know.
I hate
They've tried it before and it wasn't successful. But
Yeah.
the things
It's
that
the new
I've-
hotness.
Here's the problem with it. I feel like, and maybe they've taken the other route, but I feel like a lot of games have hyper fixated on BRs, and it's really lowered the quality of what the core game is supposed to be. I mean,
Yeah.
take Call of Duty right now. Everything about Call of Duty is focused on getting people into Warzone. That's it. That's all they care about. They want people in Warzone. They don't care about multiplayer. They don't care about the single player campaign. Get people in Warzone. We'll get them there, and we'll get them to keep coming back. Same thing.
buy Beavis and Butthead skins.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Correct. I think it just what's the Portal game that just had they came out of beta and then went back into Splitgate. Wasn't their whole focus to like build a BR, and then that just kind of like took away all their resources for building the primary aspect of that game?
They were gonna make arena shooters great again. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And so it's in order to do that, they were releasing a BR, which is New Age.
yeah.
They
Totally.
had a whole speech about making arena shooters great again and how everybody else is doing this crap focusing on BRs. And then like 2 months later, they came out with their new special announcement that they made a BR.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive it was like same breath on stage. Like
Maybe.
make arena shooters
was-
great again, and then after that, they said that boom, BR
was an odd
drops. You can play it
decision.
now.
This is just my point. This is what I don't like. I don't like when people who build a quality game decide that the sequel needs to branch out to something different to drag more players into it. If the quality of what you're building at its core is not the same level. If you're going to go and make, the next battle, you make Battlefield 7 and like the primary thing you're focused on is a BR, but your main content is still to the level of quality as what you made in Battlefield 6, I'll take it. But I feel like a lot of times it takes away from those resources and they don't focus on it as much. And that's where I feel like these games just kind of lose people.
Maybe.
That's what I don't want to see.
All those execs being like, "Hey, battle royales make a lot of money. Make one of them, please."
I mean, man, I feel
leave
like
out the please.
so many problems in this industry can be traced back to some guy in a boardroom said, "Make me the popular thing. I want a Fortnite."
That's so many problems in so many industries. And it
That's
just reiterates the fact that
Yeah.
people at the top just have no freaking clue what's going
They
on.
don't
at the
know
bottom.
what.
Just
no,
zero,
absolutely
man.
not.
Maybe this is a small brain take, but like I don't think that there should be a ton. Like it needs to take a ton of resources to do a battle royale. Like you just throw a ring, you push people to the center, You have the same gunplay. Hey, guess what? Those guns that you're using in multiplayer, they're just found around the map, and that's about it. Like, okay.
I mean, literally, right? Like, Fortnite's Battle Royale was just, they made a different game, and they're like, let's make this other game mode, right?
Fortnite's story is so funny. Just because it was a freaking tower defense game. They helped PUBG produce some of their Battle Royale stuff. They're like, oh, this looks cool. Let's do this in Fortnite. And then they're like, oh, this is more popular than our base game? Save the world? What do you mean? We're not going to produce that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely wild. What a turn. What a pivot.
I will say there's a ton of people in the Battlefield labs, like playtesting stuff, and they've been playing the BR for a while now, and a lot of people think it's like really good. So maybe it's gonna be popular.
I will say, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say I'm not mad in this instance because they led with what people wanted, which was core Battlefield. What I get upset about is when people refocus their efforts and try to say everything we're doing is really based around we want this BR to succeed in game. Okay, cool. I get it. Whatever. Warzone. It was fun for a time. Don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Respawn made Apex and told us that it wasn't taking away from a potential Titanfall 3. And then we find out like 2 separate times that they had canceled Titanfall 3 because Apex development.
I freaking hate that, man. Titanfall 2, one of the greatest single-player stories maybe ever.
I'll say my own personal likes when it comes to video games has shifted from I used to play a lot of arena shooters, so like Gears of War, I'd Call of Duty, Halo, etc. But like after Battle Royales came out, like those don't really entice as much anymore, just because like there's like if you look at what a Battle Royale is, it's like a different story every time you play it. And while you go into the arena shooters like spawn die, it's like okay, like maybe I got 5 kills on before I died, but like there's no like adrenaline pump, there's no thrill there. Like getting like 20 kills in a Battle Royale when you have that one life, freaking cool. So I mean, if they can do it in a way where it doesn't take away from development of the arena shooter, and the arena shooter is still like, you know, the core modes are still viable in there, which I think Call of Duty could do it. I mean, they have the dev power to do it. It's just their focus was so much. I think honestly, if you really do look at Call of Duty from bird's eye view, I don't even think it was dev power or like focusing on Warzone. I think they legitimately just lost the identity of what the BR was supposed to be, and they kept trying to follow the multiplayer. And if they would have just kept the Warzone or the Battle Royale, whatever you want to call it, separate from all of the multiplayers, I think nobody would have actually had this take where it's like, oh, they're splitting up too many resources, and because it was like multiple teams developing each Call of Duty, and then it was Raven trying to implement everything into Warzone. And so it's like, oh, Cold War came out, we have to implement Cold War guns. Oh, World War I came out, or whatever whatever that one was came out, we have to implement. Oh, now Black Ops out, we have to implement. It's like you keep doing that, and the balance is just completely off. Yeah. And then you constantly have to regrind guns. And like, hot take, I think loadouts are the worst thing to ever hit a BR. That's just me,
it's
though.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, you're getting closer to the arena shooter at that point. You're just back where you started almost.
It's not even if you think about so if they had loadouts, but you didn't have to grind for them, which they'd never do that because then you wouldn't have player engagement. I'd be okay with it because then people could just choose what they want. They'd get to that point. You'd have like the first half of the match where like you don't have loadouts. Then you get to that point, have loadouts, and then the last half of the match is you have loadouts. Cool. The thing is that somebody gets meta weapons, and then you're sitting there with like ground loot, and it's like you're gonna lose every fight. Like it's just unless you get the drop on them, you're gonna lose every fight because you don't have the meta weapons. And it's like the same reason why, and I know it's like way out of left field. Same reason why I hate World of Warcraft PvP, because you have all these no lives that freaking grind the crap out of the game, get the highest like raid gear, go into PvP, and I think they're so cool because they're stomping on everybody. While you go in there as a fresh level 60, and you're like, you have this green gear on, and you're just like what's that? Like, why is it not just scaled across the board? Same level, everybody's same level.
I would love for that grinding to be just solely cosmetics. I think that'd be great. Every gun's unlocked, every attachment's unlocked, all the perks unlocked. You want to grind? You want to get a freaking gold gun? You want to get the freaking crazy, weird cosmetics? Yeah, that's what you grind for. That I would be okay with. Maybe that keeps player engagement. I don't know for sure, but I agree with you. I think loadouts are bad, and I think it makes things incredibly unbalanced.
Well, what they did one season, which I actually really enjoyed, was one player out of your group could be the no life, and then you could buy the meta weapons for the rest of your team. It's like, hey, yo, give me the money, and then boom. But they like did away with that though, because guess what? Probably didn't have player engagement.
Probably
Because
not.
you, Alex, my father, none of you were grinding the guns out. I just did.
Yep.
When in the past you like might have got on the grinding the guns out just because you're like, I kind of want to be competitive with the M16 or the AUG or whatever. The Mac 10 needed an attachment. I'm very close. But it's like it didn't matter when I had the RPK and whatever else we were using.
Yep.
That's funny. I do remember those guns you mentioned.
Yep.
I'm like grinding for that stuff. To go back to Battlefield 6 base game, I think in terms of keeping the iron hot with the new maps that they're releasing, that's cool and all, but also this stands to be like one of the longest lasting Battlefields just because of like all the portal stuff that they're doing. Like the day one, there was a version of Call of Duty Shipment like in the game that somebody made because of the tools that they give you to make stuff in Portal. So that's crazy. I didn't realize how in depth some of the tools were. You can just straight up code stuff. Like somebody had a demonstration running. I saw that you could go in, you spawn into a Call of Duty map, and then you go over to this terminal, and they had made like Space Invaders and like all these like classic arcade games that like fully functional inside Battlefield. So the potential for like the modding scene to do stuff with the game is going to be nuts.
I'm excited about it. I also think the modes they've decided to include and how they've laid these maps out are freaking great. I still like what's the mode called where is it Rush, where you're moving forward, sort of gathering territories as you move forward. Breakthrough.
You always move forward in games, Aaron. What are you talking about?
That's true. As in
I'm
life.
backstepping every game, man. Only backwards.
The new mode's escalation, where you have to like
escalation.
hold.
That's like a certain number of spots, right?
Yeah, to hold a certain number of points, and then like you capture part of the map permanently.
Cool. It feels. You know what I think I like the most about that is I'm never revisiting the same spot for like the entire game. Like a point gets capped, or we progress in an area and we move on. It's like the battle is moved elsewhere.
Breakthrough is like, you basically fight across the map. You either are attacker or defender, and like you have to capture 2 points and hold them, and then that section of the map is in your control for the rest of the game.
Yep. And I think there's
move
like
on to the next section.
Maybe like 4 major sections where you're capturing points, and then you get to the very end.
I think I like that mode the best, mostly
really
because you can kind of anticipate where people are going to be. Like Conquest, you can get shot from any direction pretty much because people are like just hopping point to point to try to capture stuff constantly, and you can come from any direction. Breakthrough, you've got like forward momentum in one direction, there's like a front line, and so you can kind of like be like, all right, the enemies are going to be that way. I don't have to worry about getting shot in the back from around this corner, unless one person sneaks and then they get to do like a lot of damage, and then they break a hole in your team, and that's actually like really cool. I like that mode a lot.
Love that mode. Good game. I'm excited to play some more. Let's talk about 2 other games in the group that you guys have all been playing. And then I might step away for while you're talking about Hades 2. But let's start with Hades 2.
I can't believe that they kill Zagreus. That's crazy.
That's pretty nuts, man.
I'm going to get a water.
I mean, for what it's worth, from what I've seen from the game, Zagreus could be dead. I don't know.
I also don't know. I do say that, knowing full well that I have no idea what happened to Zagreus. How far in is everyone? I'm probably the least far, if I had to guess.
I'm pretty good distance in.
It's under 4 hours.
Oh,
I have a lot more than that.
Alex, have you made it to the, I guess, 4th biome is how I will refer to it?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so I have made it further than you. Well, what do you guys think so far?
It's really good. It's a lot like the first game. I mean, I feel like very little changed actually between the two games.
Yeah.
In my opinion, maybe not enough. I really enjoy it. It's really fun.
My first impression was it was a lot slower.
Yes.
Slower.
Well, I think it is slower, but I think it's a good thing. Hades 1, I think, by the time I feel like once you kind of got the hang of it, the strat for Hades 1 is dash and attack and dash and attack and dash and attack and dash and attack and never stop. Because if you stop, you died. And the dash attack was almost always the best, and you could get an effect on your dash.
Yeah. I haven't played Hades in a long time, but was there like a long cooldown on the dash like in this game? 'Cause I don't think there was.
No, there was not. There was a cooldown. It was fast, and you could get upgrades. Again, I don't know if this game has that upgrade, but you could get an upgrade that would give you at least 2 dashes in a row, and you could find a boon to make that even more. I'd been grinding Hades 1 shortly after this game came out to try to get the true ending, or the epilogue, I guess it's called, but gave up on that. Realized it would take me like 5 more hours. So gave up on that. But, so I'm very familiar with Hades 1, is what I'm getting at this moment. Like, it's fresh in my mind. And yes, you basically could just dash and attack, whereas this one you dash, and it has not like a long cooldown. Like, if you're trying to dodge something, you'll have it back by the time you need it again.
Yeah.
But you can't spam it as much, which I think is actually a very smart choice.
One of the first things they teach you is like, you got this trail of your dash, and as soon as it snaps back, you can dash again, which does take like a second or so.
Such a good idea, though. It just like visualizes your cooldown.
Yeah.
I love it.
That mixed with like, it seemed like they wanted me to. There's a bunch of enemies that just like relentlessly attack you, especially if they have shields, and they really want you to use like the B. What is the B move called? The cast or whatever.
Cast.
Yeah.
To like, stop everybody in place, which kind of slows down the combat too. I think, or it lets you set up for bigger hits.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I agree with you, Caleb, that it's a lot the same. But I think the changes they did make are very, very smart. The cast, right? In the first game, the cast was just you threw this thing, and you get an upgrade where if somebody had it stuck in them, they would take extra damage. And it wasn't a very interesting mechanic, in my opinion. It just meant a fight would start, I would throw them all, and then I would clear the room. About them. And then at some point, I would throw them again if I picked them back up. But now you put down a circle, and enemies in that circle can get snared, which means they can't move, and you can charge it. And if you fully charge it, when it expires, it does a bunch of damage to the people who are snared. Which sounds confusing, but it's not.
Right.
They also added like a mana bar, which I don't like mana bars generally, but I think this one's fine. Basically, all of your moves you can charge to get like a more powerful version of it, but it will cost mana. I think the main thing that keeps the mana bar from being annoying is every deity, every Olympian has a boon that makes your mana bar more manageable. Like, Poseidon has one that's just, hey, every 8 seconds, if you use an ability that uses mana, we'll just refund you all the mana you used. It's just like, oh, great, so I can cast for free every 8 seconds. Great, love that. And they all have things that are kind of like that. So I at least have not had any issues. I did also recently do a run where I basically just had 0 mana. I literally sacrificed all of my mana just for other abilities. And that was really cool. I really liked that.
They also give you all your mana back every room.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. Every room it refills. Yeah.
Your mana? Okay. All right. I didn't know that.
I only say it because I didn't realize it for a couple hours.
Yeah, I had no idea. This is news to me. I just was always so careful with it, or it was so free that I never noticed. Yeah. That's wild.
So even without like mana regen, I've started using those abilities a lot more.
Yeah, that does make me more inclined to use them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I will say, as far as the cast goes, I feel like I've not had a really satisfying build built around the casts. Whereas I've had a really satisfying build built around the other moves. All of the other moves, including the charged ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But it does
I've
add
had some cool stuff. I mean, I don't know how good it was because I haven't played. I don't really know what the good builds are yet. But I had a bunch of cast stuff stacked one time where it was like extra damage if you charged it, and then like a chain lightning hit everybody that was stuck in it, and like there was like a water splash that happened at the end of it. A lot of stuff like that stacked, and it would basically be like anybody that gets caught in the snare is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I feel like I really don't know what's good yet. Like I've been doing a lot of like, Hephaestus, is that her name? I think that's her name. She does like fire stuff. Hestia, thank you. You basically apply burn. It's like a poison effect.
Yeah.
And it seems really good. But Caleb was like, I hate burn. It's the worst. I'm like,
never used her.
I don't know, dude. She was like the first one I found, the first one I got like a little charm for, so I've been using her like crazy, and she does good work for me. I don't know.
I also just don't like her whole personality, really. So I don't talk to her when she pops up. I'm like, I'll go somewhere else.
That's fair. Yeah, she's not very interesting. One
of the first good builds I got, Caleb was in Mumble when I was playing it, and I was like, oh, I got like mana regen on my light attack, and he was like, I've never seen that. I was like, what? And he was like 20 hours in, or more at that point.
I have seen it at this point, but I hadn't after then.
It was cool because I had like my base attack cost mana to use, but it was way stronger, and then I also got mana regen on it, and it like offset it enough that it was good.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, I have been really enjoying making builds in this game. Another thing, speaking of builds, they changed how the permanent upgrades work.
Yes.
So in the first game, there was the mirror of bullshit, whatever. You would just come and you would basically spend your upgrade bucks and you would just get permanent upgrades. Like you would buy extra starting health or an extra dash or a revive or whatever. Whereas this time, first of all, I think the theming's a lot better. You get these tarot cards, you're a witch, that scans really well. You literally upgrade your hands, that way you can equip more cards, that's really cool. And there's a limit to the number of cards you can equip. Maybe endgame, you just equip them all, I don't know, I'm not at endgame. But right now, I'm making like interesting decisions and unlocking new cards and being like, oh, maybe I can get this one that lets me upgrade a boon, in a certain way, and that'll combine with, this other one that just gives me more mana. And they also have these zero cost ones, so they're free to equip, but you need to meet a certain criteria for them to take effect. Like I have one, it took me a while to understand what it even meant, but it'll, basically, I unlock it, and it'll turn on if I have cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like cards of those values also equipped. So it's sort of like an interesting like balancing act where you're not just, maybe I have to equip a card I don't want, but it activates this other ability that I do want.
It's almost like the games that have the inventory where you put items next to each other to make them more powerful. It almost feels like that at times with the card selection.
Yeah. No, I like it a lot. I think it's really smart. I always thought the upgrades in Hades felt kind of boring. Like, it obviously was nice to get stronger every run, but it very quickly became like, oh, I'm just gonna buy. You weren't like, you didn't think about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just like, oh, I'm just gonna buy the next upgrade, obviously.
It's probably one of my favorite updates they've made to the game. Well, updates, but changes from Hades 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Jake, have you made it far enough in to get the Chaos Crystal thing? The Chaos Crystal obelisk?
Thing. No.
Okay. That's another mechanic I really like. I don't remember if it was in the first one or not.
It doesn't sound like it unless you're talking about heat.
It's not heat.
Okay. I don't think I have a whole lot else to say. Good game, good music.
Yeah, and Darren Cord still kills it with the music, of course.
Yeah, of course. I will say the main character, Alina, what's her name? Malinois has a much harder name to say. Yeah. And I think she's just a lot less fun than Zagreus.
Oh.
Zagreus is like sassy and fun. And I feel like Malinois is a little
really
boring.
Serious.
Yeah,
really
she
serious.
takes herself very seriously.
She's a sad girl.
Yeah. I mean, she is, yeah.
Yeah. And like it's fine. She's not bad. I just liked Zagreus being all sassy. Like you would meet someone like when Zagreus would meet to fight with his dad, he'd be like, "What are you doing out here, son?" He'd be like, "Oh, I'm just out for like a little stroll." And it's like, oh, they have like fun banter. Whereas like she comes to a lot of the bosses and she's like, "I'm gonna fucking murder you," and it's like, whoa. Okay, got it. We're very angry. She doesn't say fucking. She's good. She doesn't curse. She doesn't cuss.
I don't think anyone does in that game.
Probably.
She's like a daughter of hell. It'd be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's true.
Be aight.
You guys done talking about Hades?
I think we can be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we've said
I was just kinda
everything we've
listening
got for now.
From a distance, just I could kind of hear you talking, then I heard a pause. It's like, oh, hey, it's the moment. It's the moment.
Yeah, and the fact that Zagreus killed Zeus, I thought was kind of weird, but that's the last thing I'll say about it.
He just kept punching him in the head over and over.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
wild.
And
wild.
you have to actually stop pressing a button to get that game to actually progress.
Yeah.
You guys also played a lot of Deadlock, which has had some pretty substantial changes since the last time we played, correct?
Oh man, a lot of new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Game's nuts. It's just so interesting. I mean, it's a MOBA, but then it also doesn't feel like a MOBA sometimes. But then there's definitely the power creep elements of like, oh, that person is out of control and farmed, or I'm under farmed. A lot of strategy goes in, team fights, choices on like when you should push and when you shouldn't. The movement is just so clean when you get movements down, and
Movement's so
like
slick, dude.
Yeah. I was watching Alex play Paradox last night, and I was dead at one point. He freaking like zipline, jumped off a wall, slid, dashed, and then like I was charging his gun at the same time. Just freaking popped somebody. I was like, ooh, that was nuts.
We were so far behind, didn't matter in at all, but it felt really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's so funny because last time I played with you guys, Chad, you were complaining about the movement changes.
Yeah. So I
Just
think
didn't understand them yet.
Yeah, right. Probably
it was
we
a
haven't played, like,
re-understanding
months.
of it, because what I was doing was dash sliding. I was like, wow, the dash slide just sucks. But you have to dash, wait for your bar to turn blue, jump, and then slide. So like, it's just one of those things that there's so many intricate details to this game that like, if you want to jump into it, I almost think you need to watch like a beginner's guide or something, like to get those small little things down. Because even like when Frank started playing, I had mentioned to his buddy that if you're sliding, that means that you have infinite ammo. And Frank was like, what? It's like we had played like, I don't know, 10 games with him by that point, and so it's like one of those things.
I didn't
like,
mention that.
constantly always learning. Yeah.
Also,
so
I
it's
really
cool
liked
as-
Viper, so
Yeah.
Wow,
sliding's like a
that's
real
slide.
thing.
Yeah.
You to be good at her, you basically have to mix sliding in to get infinite ammo because she has like a really small clip, but her whole thing is firing really fast.
Yeah. At first, when I saw the map change from 4 lanes down to 3, I was like, oh, it's going to be sad because like the 4 lanes felt so unique. And then now I'm like, all right, yeah, no, the 2-2-2 is really good. Like,
I like the 2-2-2 a lot better.
Yeah, it really
not
helps with
fighting
balance.
solo in a lane is really good.
Yeah.
Being unfortunate enough to get like a randomly bad matchup in a solo lane just felt so bad in the past. You just get crushed and then you're sad.
I mean, yeah,
That's
I
I mean,
don't
that part
know.
still happens, but
yeah. There's probably still an element of like you gotta recognize and swap, right?
Yeah. There's a couple
Like,
of
that-
solo
that's-
matches that I've been playing where like Drifter and Mira are together, and it's like those are both squishy characters that honestly don't have that much range, and so they're like, all right, we should swap like Kelvin over to this lane. So somebody like there's like actually like before you get out of your base, there is a crisscross symbol underneath every character except for your lane, and so you can click it, and then people will like click the button, and you will teleport to the other rail. So
Nice.
it like
And swaps you.
auto swaps to the lanes. So if you ever see like people pausing at the beginning of matches, like right at the out the gate, that's probably what they're doing. So they're swapping lanes.
I feel like swapping's risky though because they do per lane like skill matchmaking. So if you
Yeah.
swap to a different lane, there's a potential you swap to somebody that's like against somebody that's way better than you.
also potentially swap against somebody who's way worse than you.
True.
Yup. No, I just thought I'd re-mention Deadlock because a lot of development stuff. I still really want 1.0 to come out because I still feel like even from now to 1.0, there's going to be so many changes that like
Oh yeah.
it's going to be hard to keep up unless you keep playing.
How long was Dota 2 in beta before Reborn came out?
Or not. Beta.
3 years? 4 years?
I don't know. Pretty long time.
Honestly, you could have told me Dota was still in beta. I would have believed you.
Yeah.
I think the character designs, especially the recent ones, have been really good.
So cool.
Doorman and Paige.
Doorman is maybe the coolest character concept I've seen in a game like this. They added a character who has portals.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's
and
Valve,
he's
so
a
like
doorman.
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why
And
didn't anybody think of this until now?
He's just like a doorman. Great. I love it. I love him.
Mhm.
He's
They
way
play
too
good.
hard. I can't play him, but
He's
fuck,
tough.
he's so cool.
Yeah, he's tough.
I also find it wild that like the doors gotta have to like render the map twice or something. Like how does
I
that
don't
work,
know.
right? And yet
Like
performance doesn't drop when they get used.
Yeah,
runs
it's not like
really
a Doctor
good.
Strange portal.
Yeah, right, where you're like, oh, he's portaling because I just lost 10 frames.
Yeah.
A lot of the design concepts in this game are super interesting because like I guess they have like 10 plus years of Dota development under the belt to think about MOBAs and what they would change if they restarted. The sheer amount of information they provide to you that they would never give you in Dota, like you can just know everybody's individual net worths at all times
Yeah.
and the whole team's net worth as a group. You
No,
just know
every
that.
every camp and whether or not it's currently spawned or not.
You know
Yeah.
everybody's ult status is
Yeah.
shown
Yeah.
on their person. You
That's
know
not
everybody's items, even if they're off the map. You don't have to like wait for them to show up and check what they have. Like at all times, you just know what they have in their inventory.
It even shows you after they've purchased something underneath
yeah.
them.
As they purchase, if they're back in base buying something, it pops up underneath their picture that they bought something.
Yeah. I think my personal favorite thing is the fact that there's just like without having to pay for Dota Plus, just the in-game guides.
Yeah. In-game
Like
Yes.
is nice.
that is so, like I don't have to think about like I started the past couple games like really like delving into and like reading like why I'm buying the stuff that I'm buying on the certain characters, but like when you're getting back into the game, like just freaking all right, yeah, Simon, hit me with the cue. Like what I just want.
Yep.
What are you telling me to buy? Let's do it.
So cool. The fact that they thought to add a parry, like that everybody gets a melee and a heavy melee, and everybody gets a parry.
Harry feels so
That-
good
that
when you're in the
mind game
heat of,
always
heat of
exists.
combat. Oh man, so good.
In every fight. Great.
Freaking complex game, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's so complex.
Talk about Call of Duty and
I mean,
Battlefield.
it's not
I mean,
Dota complex.
close.
It's
Like
close.
League. It's like League complex.
Yeah.
If you get stamina mastery, your strafe dash becomes faster than your straight dash. So you should start, instead of dash jumping and sliding, you should start bunny hopping and then strafe dashing in the air and sliding. Like little things like that. The stuff we can do with wall bouncing, they added wall bouncing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I clearly need to play this game again. Bad
You
game.
should. We've tried.
I
Man.
know, but I always feel like I'm behind.
You're trying to wait until everybody gets way ahead again.
Yeah.
That way he has an excuse not to play.
Yeah.
Brilliant, honestly.
Duh. Let's move on to Caleb. What have you been playing?
I've been playing Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima.
I just started it
Oh, nice.
Goes to
like
Tsushima.
an hour and a half ago. Well,
Ghost
at this
of
point,
Tsushima.
several hours ago. Ghost of
That
Tsushima.
hurts. That hurts so much. I hate that. It's really good. It's very, very similar to the first game. The main character I like a lot better in this one. She's
Yeah.
just out for revenge, man. She just wants to murder some people, and that's what it's about. The game starts also way faster than the first game. Basically opens with a boss fight.
Whoa.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's what's funny? I literally I started earlier today. What's weird to me is it starts so strong, right? It starts with that boss fight, but then and I was like, oh, thank God we don't have to do that tutorial where like you're Jin and he's a kid and his dad's teaching him how to sword fight, and then after the first fucking boss fight, you go to this area and you flash back to when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And you learn how to sword fight, and I was like, what?
Really weird
Is this
choice.
Here?
Really weird choice.
Like, what? I already did this. Very bizarre.
Was it like a supposed to lose boss fight, like a Souls game?
No.
Nope.
You have to win.
You have to win.
I, in fact, lost it several times.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tough on hard, man.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I thought that was very weird.
Yeah, I didn't like the follow-up with the tutorial section.
I literally was so happy that I wasn't going to have to do that. And then when it came up, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
And it does open so strong, because her whole thing is she wants to kill these 6 people. And you open with just straight murdering one of them in a boss fight. And that one's done. It's gone.
What
Nice.
a good spot to start that story. How cool.
It's cool.
Yes.
It's so good. And then you have to do that.
Yeah, it's weird. To be fair, that part is really cool because you're walking around this area like her childhood home, and you just push a button and you can flash back to her as a kid, or you push the button and flash forward to her as an adult. And like no loading screen, you just tap it, boom, you're there. It's nice. It's cool.
Yep.
I assume it's not necessary to play the first one of these to play the second.
No.
Okay.
It takes
Totally
place
unrelated.
200 years after the first one.
And in an entirely different location.
Well, still Japan, but
I mean,
yes.
it's still Japan, but
Yokai.
very far away in Japan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah, I think.
Tsushima.
No. Yotai.
It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's
Sounds
like the
like Kills It.
northernmost island or something.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
The snowy.
I do like the change from stances to different weapon types. I think it's a lot more interesting. They do fun stuff with getting those weapons, because you like talk to somebody and they'll train you, and there's like a little training montage that's like actually fun to play through and interesting. And you don't just walk up and they're like, all right, here, you know how to use a spear now.
Do you like swap weapons on the fly?
Yep.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, weapons are good against other specific weapons. So like the spear is good against the Sarigama, and the 2 swords is good against spears, etc.
Didn't know the name of the 2 swords, huh?
It's like it's just dual swords.
Dual katanas.
Yeah, dual katanas, sure. Yeah, it's good. There's still a lot of climbing in it, so that's annoying a lot of the time. You have to do that. Friggin' shrines are exhausting. They're just climbing challenges. Man. So
Sick.
fun to just point my stick in the direction of the highlighted trail and occasionally hit A, you know?
How dare you? It's X. It's PlayStation exclusive. You watch your mouth. It's
PlayStation
X.
game.
Oh,
Sir.
sure. X, sorry.
We should also mention the game's gorgeous.
Yes.
Like that probably goes without saying. The first game was also dead gorgeous, but this one
Wait,
is.
how does it run?
I think it's even more colorful than the first game.
I
You guys
think
are
you're
both on
right.
standard
Can't play it.
PlayStation, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
playing it on standard PlayStation. I have not. Again, I'm only like an hour in, but I haven't had any issues.
No, I played on performance mode. I don't have any problems.
Nice.
Yeah, I also switched it over to performance because
Yeah.
I wasn't
30 frames.
having
Is it,
issues,
is it
but
60?
like
Yeah.
performance is 60.
Nice, okay. I was worried about that with the Pro existing.
They did add. They had the last one. They had the I can't remember the director's name, but the mode that's like black and white with the
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa. Thank you. They had that mode. They added 2 more.
Kisarigama.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They added Mike mode, which is a director who was all about being like super close in, lots of mud and blood and gore. Highly recommend that one. It makes the game harder because you're more pulled in to the character, but
Yeah.
I like it a lot. And then they have the Samurai Champloo guy, whose name I can't remember. Off the top of my
Mr.
head.
Shampoo.
It's
Yeah.
like Watanabe or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Watanabe.
Like Head and Shoulders?
But they have his mode, which is just a lo-fi,
Beats.
yeah,
Lo-fi music.
They just
lo-fi
put
music.
lo-fi in the background. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just as you're playing around, it's kind of fun. There was a couple tracks that I feel like don't really fit, so it kind of annoyed me after a while, but I liked it for a bit.
Would you use the really bloody one? Would you use that? Do you use that as like your default one, or do you turn it on then turn it off before story?
No, I use it all the time.
All the time. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Occasionally, you'll walk up to somebody to have a quest. They will be literally head to toe covered in mud, just mud, head to toe. It's a little odd, but I like it most of the time. One other recommendation I'll make: there's a lot of dodging in this game. There's a lot of the red attacks that you have to dodge. Highly recommend putting the attack buttons on the right bumper and trigger before you start the game. I did it like halfway through and then kept trying to attack my horse when I was trying to get on it. So
Hilarious.
I highly recommend
Great.
changing that
Animal
early.
abuse.
Yeah, it's good. Story's, I mean, it's a revenge story, so it's fine, but
Nice.
got good voice acting. The main character in the English, the main character is Erika Ishii from Dropout TV, if you know who that is. She does all the mocap, and
Oh, yeah.
she does a really good job.
So you are listening to English.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. This is one of the few games where I feel like it's annoying to read the subtitles while doing stuff.
With this kind of game, there's enough walking and talking and
Yeah.
people saying stuff while I'm trying to play that I don't necessarily want to be stopping and reading subs.
Yep,
I have
exactly.
the same thought. It's also made by a Western studio, so whatever. This is
Yeah.
the intended experience. Fuck you.
I'll go next. I have, other than Battlefield Floor?
Battlefield Floor.
Do you say that because you're dead all the time?
Dead.
God
all the
his
time.
ass.
On the floor. And then Alex just dives in and revives me. Hear the clear sound. Clear. I
Have you been playing
playing
Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 6?
6. I don't know why I said 4. It's written on
You
here
didn't
as 4.
even say 4 is the thing. You said floor.
It's written on here as 4. Why is it 4? 6.
I don't know. That's like,
You
I was
okay?
really confused. Oh, you're playing
my
two
brain
generations
hurts.
or more of Battlefield ago.
I may have been. No, but I have been wanting to play KCD 2 ever since, I saw it on the BAFTA list. That really just sold it for me. No, I've been wanting to play it, but I wanted to go back and play the original because I feel like this game really lends itself to like this overarching story of Henry and what's happening between these two games.
Mhm.
Have any of you guys played this game?
No.
I have played the first like 30 minutes.
Dude, I
Mhm.
freaking love this game.
Man, I think I
I
did.
had a
But-
feeling you would.
It
I
is.
think I also played the first 30 minutes.
You really have to want to play this game. It is, man, there's a lot. One, there's a lot of depth to it, and two, it is. I feel like it it kind of captures medieval life pretty well, where it's incredibly slow paced. It's very cumbersome. It's like, am I gonna get stabbed today on the way to go do whatever task I'm doing? And everything is just like, it feels like it takes so much more effort to do.
Yeah, that's where you lose me, man.
Dude, I love it. I love the storytelling in this game. I love Henry's story. I love the game starts out. It's in like the 1400s. You're in like Bohemia, which is modern day Czech Republic, and you're in the middle of these two half brothers who are vying for like the kingdom, the king's seat. And you're just this guy who's in a town. You're a blacksmith's son. The town gets pillaged and plundered and destroyed. You lose your parents. And it's his story of trying to get revenge. That's the whole point, is you want to find this freaking dude who killed your parents and kill him. And you have to, from nothing, figure out how to sort of navigate your way through this, through Bohemia. And all along the way, you just kind of meet these characters. He has these friends that are absolutely hilarious. At one point, I was just throwing poop at the side of a house, like a freshly whitewashed house, to make it dirty because we were really mad at this guy who was talking about the king who should not be the king. I had another moment where I was trying to get information out of this priest from a local parish, and he wouldn't tell me anything because he believed that confessional was like in the sanctity of the confessional, and he could not reveal any information. So instead, what I decided to do was go on a bender with him, get super drunk. We were out until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We woke up hungover. It's Sunday morning. He couldn't give his sermon, so I had to give it on his behalf based on information that he had told me the night before. And it was still like it's just all these like really fun moments, and all of this affects everything that's going on in the world and everything that's going on with you as Henry, about how you're sort of navigating your way through to try and figure out where this guy is that killed your parents. In the meantime, you're also doing things like you have to make sure that you take a bath, because if people can smell you, they won't talk to you. If you're like, your beard is gross, people look down on you. They do not like it. So you have to go to the bathhouse. You have to go talk to the wenches. You have to get them to give you a bath, clean you up, give you a shave, give you a haircut. Then you can go talk to people in town. You're also managing, like, you're making sure you eat food, like all the typicals. You also have a dog that you're interacting with. You're feeding him as you're wandering around, giving him commands, helping him to like become more effective at helping you in combat.
This game sounds so annoying.
And then
I was about to ask, how tedious is all that?
there is some tediousness to it, but not as much as you would imagine.
Okay.
The game lends itself to, you can let things go and drag out a lot, but eventually it will haunt you. Like if you're not eating for like 3 days, you're just starving, eventually it's going to affect your ability to fight in combat. If you're not giving your dog food for 3 days, 4 days, whatever, eventually he just leaves. And then you have to go find him. He's somewhere else on the map.
You need to go find him.
Yeah. Because he went to go get food elsewhere. Built on top of this is a pretty complex combat system. Not complex. Difficult. I feel like everything in this game is well designed, again, to like capture medieval
Suffering.
anything. And yeah,
Suffering.
it's
Yeah.
when you fight people with a sword, first of all, there's a lot of just hand-to-hand fisticuff fighting, brawls. You're at a bar, somebody goes and talks to you and says the wrong thing, you just fight them, punch them. It's great. Love
Just
it.
like real life.
Real life. But when you're fighting with like sword and shield, sword and board, or if you have like a bow and arrow, first of all, bow and arrow, you better be a long ways away because they're just gonna freaking run at you and then murder you. This game is deadly. You get hit by a knight like twice, you're dead, you're done, and you got to start back at your save, which was a long time ago, which I'll get to in a second. But the combat system is you are holding a sword, and there's kind of just this like indicator of 5 different directions: his head, both arms, both legs, and then a center attack point. And you, by moving the mouse, are kind of just determining, or if you're on, controller, determine which direction you're going to swing the sword from. And then you have to like combo those swings in order to fight people with specific armor or shields, or maybe they're carrying a mace or a warhammer instead of a sword. And so you change your approach based on all the people that you fight. You basically only ever want to fight one person at a time, because if you ever fight 2 or more people, you're just dead. Period. End of story. You cannot survive. They will attack you simultaneously. You're done.
If you're good.
Maybe
Yeah,
later
that's
in the
true.
game I'll get good, but right now I'm not good.
I would just fight everyone at once. That's what I would
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just start walking around saying, "Hey, all you people, fight me right
do. Come
now."
fight me.
I will say the 2 things I don't like about this game so far. One is just like it's just not optimized, even still. This game came out in 2018. I feel like it still runs kind of poopy at times,
Wow.
especially some of the lighting in this game can get real freaking weird. If it's like raining and there's also you're in inside of a building where there's a fire, oh boy, it's like
God help
lights are just firing off every direction. That I don't like. Also, the save system. What a weird choice. You get this. I can't even remember the name of it. It's like Savior Schnapps or something like that. It's a drink.
Yep, save your schnapps.
Some just like that. And that is the only way you can save in this game other than sleeping in a bed. So if you are out, you've been doing things all day, you've fought a bunch of people, you've accomplished some things, and you have forgotten to save, when you die, you start the day over, back in the bed when you woke up that morning to do everything over all again. That is a choice. And
How
it
long
makes...
are days in this game? Are they literal days?
No, they're not literal days, but they do take.
It wouldn't
takes a long
surprise me
time.
if they were for this game.
Yeah, they're not literal days. I would say, I don't know. I don't know exactly how long it takes to get through a day. I would say a couple hours for a day.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. But yeah, this game, I love it. I love it for the story. I love Henry's story, and I love what he's going through. And I think they've done a really good job of like capturing some of that and telling this, again, really grungy, terrible, awful, no good story from the perspective of this guy who lost his parents and he just wants revenge. And it's just a slog for him to figure out how to get from where he was to where he's headed.
Like how you had the Caitlyn pause there. It's a slog
Yeah.
for
The
him.
game's just a slog, from what I heard.
yeah, that's kind of. It's part
That's
of the
why
reason
I've been hesitant.
I've not dove into this. Like I said, I played the first 30 minutes, failed pretty much instantly.
Yep.
And I just wasn't sure Like, everything was hard, which, like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously was intentional, but I wasn't, like, sold that it was going to be worth all the time and effort I would need to put into it. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I feel that. I think there is a way for you to play the main storyline of this game and not be bogged down by all the extras. There is so much going on in this world. You can go do freaking side quests in every small town that you pass through. You can just spend your time hunting and then go to the bathhouse and then go to the pub, and that's your day. Like, you do whatever you want. But if you want to mainline the quest, I think it's pretty easy to do so without really getting bogged down by all the extra details. It just takes like a tiny bit to get past this sort of tutorial. The tutorial in this game is essentially, before you actually hit title screen, is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty substantial amount of game before you actually get there.
Feels like one of those games that like sacrifices being a fun game in the name of immersion.
Like a Red Dead? I feel like Red Dead falls in
Red
that.
Dead 2, for sure.
A little
Like
bit.
Red Dead 2, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. But I still really like it. And I like the characters.
Freaking
I-
everybody
dude,
loves Red Dead, dude.
When I met with that freaking priest and we went on an all-night bender and then I woke up the next morning and I had to do his sermon for him, God, I
I mean,
was
that
laughing
does sound
out loud.
awesome.
Yeah,
pretty
it was
good.
great. And after all of that, I didn't deliver his sermon well enough for him to tell me the things I needed to know that the guy told him while they were in the confessional. So I had to go find
Say it to
another way to
kill
do
him?
it.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
One other question I have.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned that, like, if you don't eat for like 3 days,
Yeah.
some problems are going to come up. If there is just like a system that I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's blacksmithing, but like I'm thinking like Skyrim, right? If
Sure.
you craft something and you go, wow, fuck this, I literally never want to do this again. You can play the rest of Skyrim and never blacksmith a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
If you start the game and you try to do magic and you go, wow, hate that, you don't have to do it. Is this the sort of game where you can do that, or is it like everything is necessary at least a little bit?
I don't think everything is necessary. No.
Okay.
So to give you an example, like armor and things that you do with armor and like weaponry in this game, you can constantly spend time repairing it, fixing it up, making sure that you're ready to go out in combat, or you can just loot off of everybody that you kill, equip new armor, toss the old stuff to the ground, and move on. You don't
Okay.
like. There's not a need to. Like I have amassed quite a bit of wealth at this point because I don't really spend the money anywhere. I don't have any need because I'm fighting people along the road that are trying to rob me. Then I just take all their equipment and move on. So it doesn't really feel cumbersome. And then the other like food mechanics are so secondary that I don't even think it really matters. I mean, going through 3 whole days without eating and then you have to finally feed yourself. That's all entire session of you playing.
Right, yeah, it sounds like that would be a 9-ish hours.
Yeah.
Based on what you had said before, like.
I think you can dodge a lot of that, the sort of things that you definitely don't want to partake in because you just find it cumbersome. I think you can just follow the main storyline, no problem. And even if you want to, you can skip a lot of the side content too. It's not necessary. It makes the combats you face a little bit more difficult because maybe you haven't leveled up in your, strength or vitality, or you haven't gotten your swordsmanship, or something along those lines where you're just not quite as effective. But I think you just mainline it.
Okay, all right. Because I feel like the way you said it is exactly how I've been feeling. Like, everyone loves 2. I want to start with 1 because I already have it.
Yep.
But like, it's kind of daunting.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you really liked it. It seemed like something you would like.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that.
I was looking for some medieval RPG to play that was just I could just zone in on, and this is definitely it. It's kind of scratched the itch. I've scratched the itch. Whew. There we go.
Does it feel like the prequel to the 7th most influential game of all time?
That's a good question.
Oof, that's tough. I can't quite say yet. I'm only about I think like 15 hours in. I think the mainline quest is the main game is 70. I want to say. I don't know.
Hours.
Main plus sides like 120, 130. So a lot of content. But it very well could be prequel to the 7th most influential game of all time. We'll see. Anyway, that was a lot on Kingdom KCD, but it's a good game. You should try it. Jake, you're up.
All right. So I haven't really been playing anything other than what we talked about, but I did want to talk about something that I bought. So I got this ad. I've been seeing these ads on Instagram for these retro game consoles, like a little Game Boy looking thing. And I decided to pick one up.
Ooh.
So, wow, that glare's horrible. It's called the R36S. It's a little Game Boy thing. You see it's got 2 little analog sticks there, D-pad, 4 buttons, and it's got 4 triggers on the back.
Oh.
This thing's fucking awesome. Got it off of AliExpress, $30. It'll emulate anything up to PS1.
Wow. Up
Yeah.
to PS1, dang.
Up to PS1. I actually couldn't believe it.
Tomba 2, dude.
Yeah, dude. Tomba 1 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just really nice. It came with an SD card fully loaded with emulators and way more ROMs than you could ever want. I don't know how many
Seems
games
legal.
came out for the NES, but I think I have all of them now. Literally got to a point where I just went through and started deleting them because sorting through all of them to find a game was too much.
Wow.
The one thing I did do, word on the street is that the SD card that comes with them are shitty and will die. So I did use my own SD card. I had an extra SD card, like an old SD card I was using for the Switch for a while. So I just installed the OS, copied over everything over there, and it's been running great. It's really good. It's just really nice. It's got hotkeys built in, so I can, if I hold select and push the left trigger, I'll save state. Right trigger
Save
is
states are so good.
load state. Love that. I can fast forward. I can just double tap start and select and exit a game. I can also, you can see that green light. That means that it's on because I hit the power button. It's restarting, so I guess I fucked it up. But I was playing Link to the Past. And if I had done that correctly, I should have just come back up with where I was at in the Link to the Past. It's just been really nice, really cool. And for $30, you know, kind of a no-brainer for me. Because I was looking at some of them, and they can get a little expensive. Like, a new one just came out, the AYM Thor. It's a dual-screen one. Two LED screens, like DS sized, really nice, and it's like $300.
Conveniently DS sized. Interesting.
Yeah, people have been really excited for that one for emulating DS games.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know, it makes sense, right? But yeah, I didn't want to shell that out when I wasn't sure about it, so I just bought this one for $30, and it's been really great.
This Amazon listing for the one that you have says 20,000 plus games.
That's probably true.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of games.
It's a lot, man. Yeah, it came preloaded with some arcade cabinets, NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, PSP, PlayStation, N64. N64 does not run very well though. Dreamcast. I think that's all the ones I can remember. I don't know. Oh, actually, it's loaded now. Let's see. Pico 8. It's got, you know, the 8-bit Celeste that's on
Yeah.
here.
Wow.
That's nice. I'd play that.
Yeah, it does have DS, Mega Drive, Super Famicom. Yeah, and then a bunch of arcade stuff. It's amazing. I've
cool.
been really enjoying it. Yeah, it's just nice to have like all the other day, like I was laying in bed and I just whipped it out and started playing a little bit, and then save state, shut it off, went to bed, woke up the next day, load state, got right back into it.
I get
also
ads
whip
for
it out
those.
and start playing a little bit when I'm in bed.
Gee, Christmas. I get ads for those all the time, and every time I see them, I'm always like, man, I bet those are probably junk. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
At least the one you have is nice.
Yes, because that was part of my investigation. There's a lot of like knockoffs of this one specifically, because I googled it. I was like, oh, is this like retro game console any good? And people were like, that's just a clone of an R36S. You should just get an R36S. And I was like, oh, okay. Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
I don't know what
Sir,
that
yes,
is,
sir.
but I guess I'll find out. So, you know, I would look into it a little bit to make sure you get a good one, but like this one's great. And literally $30. So great.
Chad,
Yeah, what's up?
you've been playing.
Oh, dude. I'm glad you asked. You guys probably could never guess the games that I've been playing. So, Destiny 2,
No
played a
way.
little bit of that. They actually came out with the Epic Raid for Desert Perpetual. So we actually, I don't know, Alex even brought this up on cast, but we tried the contest mode and were foiled by Hydra. It was nuts. You have to do there's like, so Destiny 2 has like raid mechanics where you have to communicate with somebody and they have to like execute something. So like you have the information and the other person has to execute that information. In Hydra, you have to do 24 perfect inputs in order to get to a damage phase. So if you mess it up, it resets the whole thing, and then you're basically screwed. You just have to wipe and then restart. So that kind of what's up?
I was just gonna say, you should also clarify that, like, the point you were making about when you communicate to someone and then they have to do something with that information. In the Epic version, right, you communicate to someone, they translate it and give it to somebody else, and then they have to do something with that information.
Yeah, the 24 perfect inputs is basically like, I'm communicating to Alex that I have information. Alex is communicating to like Joe that like this is the information. Joe's communicating with like Mega that there's this information, and then Mega's communicating to me the completion of that information. So it's like a crisscross to get to the other side of the information, and it's just like while you're doing that, you're also like getting flooded with enemies coming at you. And in contest mode, you're at a delta of -30. So it's like it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough stuff.
Bombs are wild in this really Epic raid, I feel like. It's just weird. Because it's not like you're normal having a conversation with other human beings. It's just like, 5-4. What? Yeah, confirm 4.
Sometimes it's like 5-4. I know mine. It's like, okay. You got it. You got it, bud.
Do white mechanic. I have left.
Yeah, like what?
Wait.
I think they did a really, really, really good job, though, as the Raid and Dungeon team implementing. Most people thought it was just going to be like, oh, cool, Epic Raid is going to be the original raid with champs. That'll be cool. And then they also thought there wasn't going to be like a new final encounter, or like people were hypothesizing that maybe there was going to be a 5th encounter. But then I think what the Raid and Dungeon team did that was actually really, really cool was they still had 4 encounters and they were all titled the same. But the last encounter's changed. So it kind of like stumped everybody. Everybody didn't know that was going to happen.
The last one's completely different. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts. I don't know that I like it as much. The final encounter.
It's so weird.
It's weird.
It's the first time you've had multiple raid banners in a single encounter.
Yeah.
Yep. You get through like the first phase and then your screen goes black. You're like, oh, would you mess up? And then it's like, nope, you're just back at the top now. You can place a banner. So that's all fine and cool. They have basically, there's this whole long list. I'm not really going to go into it, but they've basically walked back like 80% of the changes that they have made to this game since Edge of Fate has launched. The portal system is like, they were making it harder and harder to level, and now all of a sudden it's like this update came out and you can chase the bonus drops now on each of the Hulu tiles, you know, because they have the Netflix Hulu style freaking system. But you can actually like how it was, you know, people were hypothesizing and how it should have been since launch. You play Fire Team Ops, which gives you a bonus for solo ops, and now you have 3 stacks of bonus on solo ops. You go play solo ops, you get 3 bonus drops. Oh, cool. Now I'm like 3, drops slots power higher instead of just 1 drop each activity, and it being like +1, +2. Also, you had to wear the highest tier like gear amount for to get the highest score. They removed that. It's just account wide now. So if you go on to your hunter, that's like level 200, while your main character is 550. It doesn't matter. You're still gonna get the 550 like point style, which is nice. They're coming out with Festival of the Lost next week, so that's gonna be cool. And they have this again, like I should have probably done way more research on this. It's like Destiny 2 has been kind of in a lull right now, so I haven't really been looking into it. But there's this thing called Call to Arms that they are implementing November 11th. And it looks like it's some sort of like nightfall competition activity. So basically there's going to be like a scoreboard, and like you're trying to get into the top like 1% of like your score total.
Sticking the same thing.
What?
He said scoreboard.
Wow. But yeah, you're basically going to be competing with the community, and like the top 1% gets like an emblem or like some sort of goodie, and like there's also, you're probably gonna get levels for it, obviously, because it's Destiny. You're probably gonna get, high tier loot if you're up in the high tier levels, 550, Guardian rank 11, etc., stuff like that. And it just looks like a cool time to jump back in, because there has really been just a lull in the activity. Apparently, I haven't played it, but the exotic mission that came out, which took it was delayed, I think, a month because they weren't finished with it, was like a 10-minute activity. So it wasn't really anything to shake a stick at. Although the axe seems pretty cool. There have been people that have been using 5 Outbreak Perfecteds, and because the axe is a nanite axe, they use it on the last boss, and it just one phases. So
That's cool.
yeah, everybody's supporting the one person getting 400k damage. So
Yeah.
cool stuff. I mean, Destiny's so unique to its sandbox and like just the things that you can do with the theory crafting and the builds and stuff. So hopefully they can get everything kind of in a good way so that people can start playing this game again and not completely die. Oddly enough, with how money hungry Bungie usually is, you can go on to, I think it's Green Man Gaming or something like that, and just get Renegade's Year of Prophecy and every expansion for $35. So if the money was a barrier to entry for this game, it's no longer. So grab that before that deal gets over. And yeah, even though 80% of the game has been sunset because of the portal, but,
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Alex had purchased this game called Megabonk, which, have you talked about this yet?
No.
Yeah, so I started playing off of Alex's copy, and it's just an addicting, just Risk of Rain style solo, ridiculous, random builds. You pick your weapons as you level up, pick your tomes as you level up, so you can have like, if you're playing the monkey, you have bananas that you throw out at people, and then you start like getting the size tome, and your bananas increase to like the size of the screen, and it's just flying everywhere. Constantly having money coming at you, gold coming at you, and it's just basically survive as long as you can. Get to the boss portal, activate it, kill the boss, jump through the portal to the next level, and then there's an end boss that I haven't beaten yet. But it's kind of cool to just see all the builds and all the characters that you can actually play as, and just a unique kind of pickups and stuff. And the whole point of this guy making the game is just basically who can break my game kind of thing. So I've seen YouTube videos where everything's just exploding on screen, and person's just standing still way past when you're supposed to go through the boss portal. It's fun. It's just like you're bored, you don't know what you want to play. Pick this up, just kind of do a run. Cool stuff.
Is one of the characters a skateboarding skeleton?
Yes,
With
skateboarding skeleton that
sunglasses?
throws bones, and the bones ricochet between enemies.
Okay, I gotta ask, why did you not open with that? That's literally all I need to hear.
His name is
Also-
Calcium, right?
Yeah, so
Calcium?
His name is Calcium?
His name's Calcium.
Good.
Alright,
He's
so this is game of the
skateboarding.
year.
His passive is the faster you go, the more damage you do, and if you take damage, then you slow down. So you basically are just speeding across the map, doing more damage. There's an archer where the more gold you have, the more damage you do. So you basically just go like pure gold build for that. Pretty cool. Then there's like a orc that has axes that you can throw out around him. If you keep getting quantity on that, it at first is like a cone in front of you, but then the quantity starts to become so big that it starts wrapping around behind you as well. So you just have this circle of axes, and his passive is each level you just do more damage. So that's cool, I guess. There's
Looks like there's a
Go ahead.
knight that can sword surf as well.
Yeah, so there is slide mechanics. So anytime there's like a
Okay.
hill or something, you can like slide down it. So like the knight will slide on his sword, the orc will slide on his axe.
Okay.
The archer will just roll down the hill. I think the skateboarder just skateboards down. I don't think there's
Yeah, it
anything
checks
different
out.
with that. Yeah. there's like a speedy guy that's on a hoverboard. If you like quote unquote speed run the first boss, so you kill it within like 5 minutes or something like that, you can unlock that guy. And so he just like hoverboards around and throws a smart dart. So think like guy who whistles in Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing. So it's cool stuff like that. Really, it's cool, and it's like it's $10, so it's one of those things where I saw that I could just use Alex's copy, but I was like, it's $10. Like, let me just support this guy. He's a solo dev. Like,
Cool. I saw a note where one of the Expedition 33 devs was joking about how they were so addicted to this game that they wanted it to win GOTY instead of the game they'd made.
it's wild, dude.
Wow.
Last but not least, Alex.
Yeah, I've been playing Absolum.
How you pronounce that?
I was gonna ask that too. I was thinking
Apparently.
Absalom or
Okay.
Absolum.
They
Yeah.
say it in the trailer, and they say Absolum.
Okay.
Yeah, I really love this game. It's a beat 'em up. It is also a roguelike. And there's like a surprising amount of like fighting game DNA in it. That I think really adds some nice spice to it, makes it a lot more satisfying and a lot more fun to play than just like mash X type
I
deal.
mean, lots of combos, lots of juggling, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so they have that, certainly. Like the combos feel very natural, and like you don't have to like learn a combo like a fighting game, but basically you can like feel it out and it just kind of works usually. Transitioning like light attacks into your specials, or like you have a magic attack that's called an Arcana that uses mana. So okay, you can jump, you can light attack, and if you spam the light attack, it kind of has a basic combo that goes with it. You can skill, I think they call it, which is like your heavy attack, and you can Arcana, which is like your magic attack. And the magic attack costs mana. You have 1 mana chunk at the start of the game. To rebuild that up, you just hit people, and it like builds over time. And then there's like roguelike elements where you can get ways to get that back faster sometimes. The roguelike stuff can give you entirely new moves, or like change your skill, or like burn effects on your attacks, or bubble on your skill, where like if you hit somebody with it, they get put in a giant bubble, and then that makes them bounce, and then they take like impact damage, or like they can hit other enemies. Also, there's like the classic beat 'em up throw, where like if you walk into somebody, you pick them up, and you can like usually you can either like throw them in front of you or behind you, or like punch them and knock them down or something like that. And all this stuff changes per the 4 characters that are in the game that you can play. And a lot of it gets altered by roguelike drops throughout the run. The fighting game stuff I'm talking about is like the combo system a little bit. And then also they have special things like teching. So like if you get hit and fly through the air, usually you have like a on the ground state for a bit before you can get back up. But if you hit jump right as you land, you tech out of the fall and you stand up immediately. Or there's like a deflect. So you have a dash button. If you dash into an attack as it happens, you deflect it. And you can get counter punishes off of that. And elite enemies, you basically have to counter punish to open them up to combos. Otherwise, they just don't get comboed. The other way you can do that is dodging, which is instead of dashing into an attack, which does a deflect, you dash away from it or around it in some way, and that will give you a dodge, and then you can do a punish after that. The dodge is cool because if you like dash up or down to get away from an attack, and then you press an attack button right after it, you kind of like magnetize back into the enemy. So it feels really good to like dash out of the way of a attack, magnetize back in, get a combo in. And then there's also what they call clash, which is if you use your skill, which is like your heavy attack or your Arcana, your magic, at the exact same time that an enemy is hitting you with something, they clash and does like basically like a super parry. Like they take a bunch of extra damage after that. That's really fun. And then like there's an even additional parry. Like one of the characters I play, one of their magic abilities that you can equip is basically like the Silk Song parry, where you use your magic resource to do a parry, and it does like a super attack after it if you manage to block something with it. That's really fun. There's a lot of permanent progression back at base with upgrading your character, getting you more like mana stacks, or healing during the runs is really important. You get like after a while of playing, you get a revive, and then after a while you get a second one. If you're playing in co-op, which it supports 2-player co-op, you can get your buddy up if you can manage to avoid dying yourself and do a little get up animation on them without getting hit. And you can just seemingly do that forever. So like if you're in a really tight spot, if you and your buddy make sure that you just keep on chain rezzing each other, you can kind of get through it. It's kind of fun sometimes. The bosses are really good. The game's quite tough also. It's been a lot of fun so far. The music is super good. Gareth Coker did the main soundtrack. He is known for like the Ori soundtracks, and also I think Halo Infinite. So
weird set of 2 games, but all right.
Yeah, right. It's more evoking like Ori, I think.
Sure.
Orchestral ambience kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden there's like this one boss you get to that the guitars just go crazy, and I'm like, what the heck? I look it up. Mick Gordon just has like a guest track for one of the bosses.
Heck yeah.
It is so crazy. Yeah, fighting to his music is so invigorating. I've really been having such a good time. I love that this game kind of came out of nowhere. It's not in early access. It's like fully done. The art is amazing. It seems super polished. It's got a lot of like cool little mechanics. The runs that you do, I'm really surprised how much changes with each run. Like it's not that the run itself changes, but there's like little events that happen that I'm always surprised. Like, oh, this wasn't here before, or like, oh, that character's different, or in even one case, I'm like, we've been here several times, and now there's a boss that is accessible that wasn't before. That's cool. And there's like cool little secrets, and they keep on rolling out. Like story progression plays out where you have a map of where you can go in the run. There's a lot of branching paths with that. And eventually the story will be like, oh, there's like a place you got to find that you haven't found yet that'll have like some item that a person at base needs or whatever. And you can like look at the map and be like, oh, I bet it branches at this point. So there's probably like a secret path in this spot that will help us get there. And that's usually right. And I think that's really fun, that type of branching storytelling. Yeah, it's really, really fun so far. I don't know if it'll make game of the year, but there's potential. It could be like a dark horse on my list, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Any closing thoughts? I don't
We
have any
said
this
this
week.
would be a short one.
I don't have any weird thing. There's no Taco Bell 50K that I can talk about this week, so I don't.
Yeah.
Actually, it just happened, by the way.
Which 5 liquids would you have come out of your 5 fingers if you could have any liquids?
Dude, I'm telling you, I feel like I already have the answer to that.
Bro,
Have you guys
I
heard
asked
this
my
question?
parents.
No. Do I want to know what your parents said?
My dad. We're in a restaurant, and I laughed super loud and embarrassed myself because I just did not expect. My dad said water, like everybody does, as the first option.
Sure.
Immediately after water, he said ranch. I'm like, there's no way.
Man likes himself some ranch.
Off the top of his head, that was the 2 most important things.
Water and ranch.
Gosh, no way.
No, I get it, dude. You have a little bit of water, and you're like, wow, that doesn't taste very good. Gotta ranch this bad boy up.
Gosh.
Water and ranch. I'm imagining it was like a fancy restaurant, like you're wearing a suit and tie.
Luckily, no. But man, that was so funny. I couldn't believe it. It did remind me. Caitlin's first two answers were high C flash and fruit punch.
Yep.
And lemonade.
Yep.
Huh. No water.
I mean, she notoriously hates water.
Does she?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So she lives life to not drink water. I mean, it's like one of her main goals. I still think the right answer here is water, gasoline. I mean, you could, I guess you could say crude oil, but it would require you to filter or whatever, process it.
Fine.
Crude
Yeah.
oil would be
Water.
crazy.
Yeah, right. Water, gas, coffee, milk. And truthfully, I think the last one is kind of up to you, but I would say still and sparkling water because you can make a lot of stuff with sparkling water.
I am not drinking your finger milk. Nice fucking try.
It'd be just like getting out of a cow, maybe.
No.
Oh,
No,
no, don't do that motion.
No, bruh, you'll never know. You'll never know that it came from his finger.
True.
I was thinking like
know.
a really nice
know?
olive oil would be cool.
Oh, that's a good one,
Just have
actually.
access to like nice olive oil all the time.
Yeah,
I still
You use that too infrequently.
the whole
Maybe.
never know thing. I still think back to the time that I got stung by a jellyfish over in Stromboli, so an island off of Sicily. And we go to the hotel and we ask the people if there's anything put on it. And guy disappears out back, comes back with a bottle, no label on it. And he's like, "Yeah, put this on it." I'm like, "That was urine. It was straight urine. Like, there's no way. There's like he just paid in a bottle."
Oh, thank you. I'm good. All right. Well, I guess that's it then. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk more about. Well, I think actually, will Ben? You think he'll have a review about Elden Thring? at
Elden
that point?
Thring? Probably.
You better.
He's off the
He's on the
cast.
hook for it.
Or he's off the cast.
Off the cast.
You heard
That's how we
here
do it
first.
here.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. See ya.